faculty, funding, and location. So when it comes to a full residency program, funding's different for all of us, right? If you got money, please give me some. No, if you got money, great. You can kind of go anywhere. You don't have to worry about funding. If you don't, I would advise you to only apply to places that can significantly fund your time in that graduate program. A lot of the more public state schools will tend to have funding. The private schools, it's just kind of a mixed bag, and it's very competitive at both of those. And then faculty, like, are you excited about the faculty that are there? The faculty that are there, do you know their work? If you don't know their work, way before you apply, read some of their work. Just to be real, if you think their work is whack, why would you want to work with them? They might be really generous teachers, but if your aesthetics are very, very different than theirs, you're going to have another set of hurdles when you get there. Because it's like, oh, I write only in form. And the person who's there writes this really experimental free verse that's all over the page, using the page as a field. It's not going to be a mix that is really productive. So faculty is the second one. And I will tell you too, it's like some faculty who maybe you're writing heroes, they might also be the most generous teachers ever. That's kind of something that you don't know until you get there. So that's always an uncertainty. So just try, if you are able to get access to them in the application process, or if you're lucky enough to get accepted, just try to have a meeting with them, coffee with them before you make your final decision, and try to gauge, oh, are they here? Are they checked in? Are they not? Yeah. That might be something that really, really matters to you. And for me also, it's location. Like if you have a family and a really busy life, then you have most likely less location choices. And that's why a low residency could be good for you, because you only have to pop in, for 1 week out of the semester. But if you don't have like a really dug in family life and you don't have to stay exactly where you are right now and you're kind of mobile, I would say really heed where the programs are. So if you're a rural person and you hate the city, I love NYU to death. That's where I went. That's an amazing program. I wouldn't recommend, if the city scares you, to apply to that program, because even if you get in and you get funded, you're going to have a lot of trouble just on your day-to-day trying to survive and trying to stay mentally and physically healthy, let alone write your best work. And vice versa. Like, I'm a city kid, so if I didn't apply to any rural schools, I just didn't. Because I knew that, like, if the program ended up not to my liking or something really rubbed me wrong at whatever program I ended up in, I would kind of be stuck. And it's like, I'm not gonna be out here in shabumblefuck. That's just this is how I felt. And I trusted that. And I only applied to cities. I only applied to programs in cities because I knew that, if the program went bust for me, I'd still be in a city that I liked.
I just want to touch on faculty. Like, I think even better is if you can find a program. I do not have my MFA, to be clear. I would strongly, though, recommend trying to pick a program where there's faculty with at least like 2 or 3 people that you want to work with, because Marcus, I know you've been at OSU a while, which is great. That's not the case for a lot of people. People bounce around. And we've all heard stories of the people that, oh, I went to this one program because so-and-so was there. And then my second semester, they left. And I didn't like anyone else there. And so then you're stuck, like, do you transfer? Do you stop? Do you keep going? Like, it's, if it's just one person, I think you really gotta sit with yourself. Because you can even talk to them and they might even be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely be there. But then the next offer comes up or something exciting happens or a sabbat, like you just never know.
Right. Yeah. Multiple faculty. And that's a really good clarification. And I think too, another reason we're kind of in this sweet spot for contemporary arts and letters is people are working interdisciplinary approaches and multi-genre approaches. And there are a good deal of programs that value that. And even if you're researching a program that you might apply to, read in other genres that you might be just a little bit curious about. If you're like, maybe one day I'll write a memoir, then see what the creative nonfiction faculty are doing. Because you might very well take a class with them, or at some point, show them some work. So for sure, you want to be able to find connection with the work of multiple faculty members.